Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, whether you are a client looking for products or an agent seeking to build a successful business, me and Kimmy, we will be sharing some insights, some testimonies today, some strategies that will help you achieve those goals and make a real difference in the world. So, go ahead and hit those like buttons, you guys, today. In the comments, share where you're from. How is your morning going? Share that below, you guys. And go ahead, if you have not yet, grab that cup of coffee, that cup of tea, and let's go ahead and dive on in. So, Kimmy, how are you doing this Thursday?
Yes, I am doing amazing. Another beautiful day today, and I am excited to get things going. So, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing good. I did my affirmations this morning. I'm feeling good. I am really, really feeling good. I'm not gonna lie. It's Thursday. The week is almost up. I'm excited for the weekend. I am.
Oh, that's wonderful. I had a question for you today. Have you heard of that book, Atomic Habits by James Clear?
Actually, I did. I just finished that book. It is a fantastic self-help book. It's all about the power of small habits and how they can make a big difference in your life.
Yes, it definitely does. So I agree. It was definitely a really good book. I know what I took away from it, but what were some of the key points that you took from it?
Well, the book, it focuses on like the small changes and being consistent with those small changes over time. Like it introduces the concept of atomic habits. So, which are the tiny actions that shape up our lives. So the book, it does provide some practical strategies to kind of build up those good habits and to break away from the bad ones. And it emphasizes on the importance of environment design and identity shift.
Yes, exactly. It reminds me of one of my actual favorite sayings, which is, for things to change, you have to change. And they do highlight that in this book, that the only way for things to change is that you have to change. Was there any other specific things that you liked from it?
Well, I know for one, when they talk about the importance of creating that environment that can support your habits, for one, by designing your surroundings to encourage positive behaviors, you're able to minimize those distractions and you are able to set yourself up for success. And that's one part I really took heed in, is changing your environment. You know what I mean?
I definitely know. You are so right. If I would have remained actually hanging out with the same people that I did when I was in say my 20s, things would have been totally different. I wouldn't be the person that I've grown into, and now I'm understanding. You grow up.
Yes.
But it started actually with the small steps, and being able to associate yourself with different people. That's how I started my journey, and by associating with them, it has really changed my life. I wouldn't have gotten into the insurance industry, and actually, if you would have told me in my 20s that I would be doing this, I would have laughed. I would have been like, you are crazy. There is no way I would have done this. But
That is so crazy that
here
you
I
said
am.
that, Kimmy, because I was just saying that to myself the other day. Like, if I sat back and looked at my life from the time that I was 20, I could not even fathom, imagine what is going on today back then. So, I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just totally agree. Like, my 20-year-old would know. But I
Yeah.
think that, it's just the process that you have to go through when you start growing and expanding yourself, that, it's not going to be comfortable, but you have to get out the box, right? And you have to remove yourself from situations and people to actually see what you actually need to be seeing for yourself. So I'm sorry, but go ahead, go.
No, I mean, like, it's amazing. I was just dealing with a
Mhm.
situation where, there's a 40-year-old that is in the same mindset as if he was 20. Struggling with
Yep.
jobs, struggling with how he's going to pay his rent, needing to borrow things, having his friends hang out at his house all the time and just become, you know, uh, squatters, as I would call them, and he's having a hard time getting them out and everything like that. And we were just talking about the people we associate, and it, it's
That's true.
sad seeing that, to me, that thank God I did not go stay with the people I used to associate with, and I
Mhm.
grew. Not saying that they all didn't grow. I mean, there were some that really skyrocketed and did good, but there's other ones that just stayed there. Now,
Yep.
yeah, and having that discipline, and I wouldn't quite say discipline because it actually became such a natural habit for me. Um,
Mm.
it's kind of like, I just started repeating myself over and over again. Kind of, I guess, like, when we're little, we learn how to brush our teeth. Now we get up, brush our teeth, and we go on with our day. It becomes such a habit, as they talk about, you don't even think about it.
Oh my God, Kimmy, I totally agree with you. I definitely agree. And you know what? Your environment can either break you or it can empower you, which kind of ties into what the author talked about in regards to the importance of identity. He says how our habits can reflect our identity just by adapting new habits that can align with the person you want to become. You can shape your self image and make a positive change in your life by doing that one simple step.
Oh,
I agree.
definitely. Definitely. Um, it made my life better. I can tell you, by having the right people around me that's supporting me and
Yep.
challenging me, even when I
Mhm.
cannot believe in what I'm doing myself and I don't have that self-belief, has definitely changed my life.
Mhm.
What do you think about, um, in overcoming some of the challenges, or what do you think about, say, on some of your challenges that you might have had in your life?
Well, some of the challenges that I can say, for me, for one, is breaking bad habits, bad behaviors. Because just like you had mentioned, when brushing your teeth, right, it comes like it's just a natural thing. But if we keep holding on to things that is not improving us, we're going to stay stuck. We are, you know what? Matter of fact, I actually have the book here. I wanted to read something real quick that you just brought up. Okay, so it's out of the first chapter. Let me get to it real quick. Okay, so he says in the book, why small habits make a big difference. He says, too often we convince ourselves that massive success requires massive action. Rather, it is losing weight, building a business, writing a book, winning a championship, or achieving any other goal. We put pressure on ourselves to make some earth shattering improvement, that everyone will talk about. Meanwhile, improving by 1%, just 1%, isn't particularly a notable, or sometimes it isn't even noticeable, but it can be far more meaningful, especially in the long run. The difference a tiny improvement can make over time is astounding. Here's how the math works out. If you can get 1%, just 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done.
Wow.
Conversely, right? Right? But then he says, conversely, if you get 1% worse each day for 1 year, you'll decline nearly down to zero. What starts
Wow.
as a small win or a minor setback accumulates into something much more.
Wow. Wow. That was, yeah, that's mind blowing when you think about it. I mean,
Yes.
it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like when I talk to my daughter about reading, if she reads so much a year or so much a day, how far is she going to be in a year if we look at it and compared to if she's not even reading at all? So would you recommend this book for someone to read? And
I would.
how long did it take
Mhm.
you? It didn't take me very long.
It took, because I studied the book. I actually gave it to my teenage boys to read as well. For them. So for me, it took a month, a good month for me
Okay.
to read that book. Because I did a lot of comparison with other things that I was reading, and I was joining them together. But it broke me down. I'm not even gonna lie. It did. It broke me down. It made me really check myself,
Mhm.
and it made me not point the fingers at nobody and
Right.
look at my own actions and really take on ownership that this is my life and I have the opportunity to change it by 1%.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
And that's the key. That's the key. Very uplifting, very insightful there. Um,
Mhm.
Now, have you finished reading that other book I recommended, The Morning Miracle?
No, I've heard of that book, but I haven't had the chance to read that one yet. So what are some of the takeaways on that book? Because I heard it was very good.
Yep, it's definitely another good read.
Okay.
In the book, I actually started implementing some of the strategies, excuse me, that were suggested in this book, like waking up early. They talk
Hmm.
about practicing meditation. And
Hmm.
it's amazing how much it actually improved my focus and my overall well being throughout the entire day.
Okay. So what are some of the few intentional habits in the morning that can set the tone for your entire day? What exactly did it kind of dive into exactly? I mean, because I
So,
know I'm doing like well, yeah, I do meditations and I do some affirmations while I exercise. But what exactly did it kind of go into in regards to that, like in the mornings?
so they talk about doing the practice of called Savers, SAVERS technique.
Okay.
Um, you know, it's a combination of practicing S for silence, that out of Savers, S for silence, which you take time to just have quiet time. You wake up in the morning, you do not check your phone, you do not get on the computer, you don't check your emails. It's just time to be quiet. Then you're going to be doing reading some affirmations. So affirmations is for A. So you focus on things that gonna be able to power you up for the day. So I've seen people use quotes. I've seen people use self hypnosis. So I'm talking, positive things to yourself. And I've even
Mm.
seen people use the Bible for those type of visualizations. The next one would be exercise. We're reading. I'm sorry. We're exercising. We're getting up. We're going to be getting our butts off the couch. That one was a hard one for me. Wanting to exercise right in the morning was not my forte, but I did it. And the reading
Go girl.
actually goes along with that for me.
Mhm.
I don't like to actually physically pick up a book. I
Okay.
like to listen to audio, and on my
Mhm.
audio I can highlight things, but I will do both the exercise and the reading. I found that works very well for me at the same time. And then
Mhm.
the personal growth. Then after that, the last one is the S, which is scribing. So writing, scribing, writing is usually about my wins, even if they're the small wins. I like to write that down. Now they suggest it in the morning. I do it in the evening. I like to do it right before bed, reflect on my day. And so I'll have
Mhm.
my small wins in my journal next to my bed. And I will also put in things that I'd like to accomplish the next day, and then say the next night I was able to accomplish those. That gives me another win. So it's just getting my mindset right for the next day. And it actually, following this routine, it's actually helped me feel more energized and motivated to tackle my day
Mhm.
and hit all those goals that I've already set.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I mean, just it's so amazing how just a few intentional habits in the morning can really set the tone for your entire day. One thing that I have struggled with, and I used to love doing when I was in high school, was journaling. That's
Oh,
what I need to focus on. So, I mean, I do the affirmations and exercise at the same time.
uh-huh.
I just started doing audibles, and I like both. I like to feel things. I like to be able to highlight things in the book, but I also like to be able to listen and be able to do other things if I need to.
Yep.
So I like both. So I'm both audible and reading the book as well physically. But I like that. I definitely do. And you're right about that energy. When you
Yes.
kind of simmer in, you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, I've noticed that too, that the focus of personal development and investing in our times and ourselves actually, before diving into the demands of the day, has
Yes.
really been transformational. Let me tell you. I used to rush through the mornings and I would feel overwhelmed. And I would actually sit there and take my daughter to the school. And then I was so exhausted that I'd have to take a nap right away in the morning. And it was like, and then I wouldn't really start my day until 10. And if
Mm-hmm.
somebody would have told me, even I would say I started this about 3 years ago, that if
Mm-hmm.
somebody told me I would be waking up at 5 in the morning automatically without an alarm clock, I would have been like, what are you talking about? You are talking about somebody totally different. And now I do that. And I get so much more accomplished. I get
Mm.
most of my work done by 8 o'clock in the morning that I need to. Um, and then
Oh,
I've got the rest of the day free. It's really amazing. Definitely.
oh man. Well, that's exciting because I struggle in the morning. Me and my mornings, we be having our battles, because the bed be feeling good, especially in the wintertime. Because I know I'm not the only one,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the wintertime. It be cold and you just don't want to really get out the bed. But we all get 24 hours in the day. How are we using our time properly? Are we just being lazy? Are we just slacking when we don't have to be? When we take that time and be useful with our time, because time is something that we can't get back. That
Right.
book will be added on to my list of books to read this year. So let me ask you something, Kimmy. So listening to both books, and you read both books, how could you compare the two? Do you think that these books would be good starter books on self-improvement?
I definitely would recommend these books. I think what sets these books apart is that it's not a rigid blueprint. but rather a guide that does encourage, and it helps us be able to customize our own mornings. We know what works best for us. It's not, saying, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, especially the morning miracle, which actually will say, even push that, saying, design it to your personal needs,
Yep.
and your priorities. Everybody's different. And I
Yep.
appreciate the flexibility that it actually has to offer.
Mm, yeah, I agree with that. I think that combining both of them, it's like a dynamic duel, which will like kind of supercharge your personal growth and journey. So I definitely agree. So everybody, you guys. So if you found value in these particular books right here, um, definitely let us know what kind of books that you guys are currently reading, that has improved your self-improvement walk. Um, you know, share that into the comments below. Definitely share what that is. If there's any kind of habits that you broke, share that, because we definitely want to break free from the monotony and to establish those empowering habits and to embrace the magic of mornings. And I know that these two books is a must read. If you haven't read them, add them to your books to read this year.
Right, exactly. I agree totally. These books are like treasure chests that are filled with wisdom and strategies,
Yes.
that are going to help your personal, growth, and actually help you become more happier.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to share what can happen when we combine the power of intentional habits and purposeful mornings, and how that can change things for you. So, are you ready to embark on the journey with us? Of course, like she said, put it in the chat and just think, are you ready?
There we go. And remember, it's not about perfection, you guys. It's not an overnight transformation. Nothing happens overnight. This is a process. Just like in Atomic Habits where it says just 1%. If you change 1% every day for the next year, look what could happen to your overall. So
That's
we have
right.
to, exactly. So we have to celebrate every step forward and have faith in the power of consistency.
And how we get consistency is, it's all about starting our days with mindfulness, gratitude, positivity, affirmations, and making that decision just to do it. But of course, it
Yes.
comes with that decision that you want to do that. Imagine how incredible it would actually feel to you to infuse your mornings with all that joy and optimism. We are here to create a ripple effect that's going to last throughout your day. This is what we're trying to teach here. And
Yes, yes, Kimmy.
yep, go ahead. Go ahead. I know you want to say something. Go ahead.
I love what you just said because that's the whole purpose of our page. And we thank you guys for those who tuned in every single day this week. Despite if there was errors, despite if there was just, any kind of inconsistency with the video, whatever the case may be, your guys' support, your love, your patience in this journey. We are two moms, we are wives, we are parents, we are people, we are entrepreneurs that is on a journey to really make a difference. And those that we feel that may need this information from a client's perspective and from an upcoming or current or senior agent as well. So before we go, as we say every single day, go out there and make an impact. Thank you for joining Kimmy and Key. You guys have a good day. Bye.